Filthy Hands Floyd is one of the outlaw bosses the stranger has to fight in Oddworld Stranger's Wrath. Living up to his name, Floyd is a very unhygienic and dirty person, to the point he's been cited as being the most disgusting outlaw there is within the region of Western Mudas, as shown by his appearance. His species is the same as that of the standard outlaw minion, and when you compare him to one of these, you can truly see his lack of self-care in high detail. He has a chipped tooth, unsaturated skin, and a snotty nose in some variants of this picture, show what an insanitary individual he is. This is enhanced by the fact his clothes are also a dark brown, though are actually surprisingly well made and stylish, I'd say. They look very nicely embroidered and tailored. The most ragged part of his outfit seems to be his hat, which looks quite old and displays the patches of badges that seem to have been sewn onto it. I was taking a closer look at the patches to see if they were of anything in particular. Of course, the most prominent one at the front is of some kind of skull, perhaps a Clakkerz skull, judging by the shape of it. But I couldn't make out any of the others, though these ones on the side at the top, I initially thought looked like the Oddworld Inhabitants logo, that they might have put on there as an Easter egg, but looking at it again, I'm not so sure actually. It's also interesting to note that his teeth are very pointed in comparison to some images of the typical outlaw, and his eyes look far more wild in my opinion. In some ways anyway, if you know what I mean. I guess maybe it's just he's got paler coloured eyes and make him look slightly more crazy, I'd say. Also, he seems to have sunglasses on his hat, so at least he takes care of his eyes, if not his dental health. Concept art shows Floyd smoking a cigarette and having a bit of fuzz under his chin, while wearing less stylish and more ragged clothes by the looks of it, I'd say. And in what I presume to be even earlier concept art, shows him with two massive buck teeth, as opposed to his sharp gnarly gnashes, something that Meagly McGraw in the same picture is shown to sport as well, suggesting that perhaps it was originally going to be standard for the outlaws to have buck teeth. I think it's called an overbite or underbite, I don't know. The thing that I want to point out with this though is that to me it gives these outlaws a very ratty feel. It makes them resemble rodents, if you ask me, which I guess makes a lot of sense considering the nature of the outlaws. Perhaps they were originally designed with rodents in mind, and eventually the design evolved into the more unique looking figures they ended up as. The notes on this piece of artwork also specifically name Floyd's headwear as a collector's hat with badges on, suggesting he just likes collecting badges for some reason. I also wonder if they added this detail to Floyd in order to indicate his place as the first boss of the game. You know, badge collecting isn't exactly that threatening when you compare it to, for example, Meagly McGraw, who you encounter later on, who keeps fangs in his hat. This entire concept art piece is labelled as being rough sketches of Minion A bosses, indicating both Meagly and Floyd's position as a member of the same species as their minions, which most of the bosses aren't. Indeed, Filthy Hands Floyd is a shooter outlaw who's wanted dead or alive by the Clakkerz of Gizzard Gulch for blockading the town by stopping wagon trains carrying supplies from getting through their trail. With the trains quite literally stopped in their tracks, Floyd is then able to get his men to pillage them and take the goods for themselves. A very stereotypical outlaw plan. Literally just train robbing essentially. Something Floyd is infamous for. When Stranger comes to town, he hears about this and gets offered this bounty, to capture Floyd dead or alive, so he heads to find him in a canyon that he operates from close by. Stranger comes across the Outlaw's latest venture to rob wagons, this time by blocking their path with explosives and commencing a pincer attack on the panicking Clakkerz and their wagon trains. After the Stranger defeats these forces, Filthy Hands Floyd reveals himself and engages along with his personal guards in a battle against the Stranger after refusing to go willingly to jail. Being the first boss of the game, or at least the first one that you as a player can choose to take on from a bounty store, he's one of the easiest bosses to fight. He uses a rapid firing shotgun blunderbuss type weapon, which can cause some damage but it's quite easy to avoid. His aim is quite bad. The best strategies to beating him according to the Oddworld wiki are as follows. Before one goes on to fight the outlaw boss, Filthy Hands Floyd will send out his two goons to go after you. One can hide behind a train car, just lure them in with a chip punk, or just by being spotted by them. When in close range, One has the option to live capture the 2 goons or kill them so you get Floyd by himself. Floyd is armed with a rapid-fire volley shotgun that shoots damaging shots of explosives at the player. It is best to avoid this by ducking for cover at the times of his rampage. Keep in mind the rails leading up towards the boss are destructible. Once one can be in the range of taking Floyd down, there are some options for the player to choose from. In the event of the player deciding to take Filthy Hands Floyd alive, one will have to use a fuzzle to distract him. The fuzzle will make sure that Floyd is distracted and he suppresses his fire for a limited amount of time. With this, it is advised that one would hit him with a charged zap fly to bring down his stamina until it is low. Once the stamina bar is depleted, he will fall over and one can bounty him. To make this process easier before he can regain consciousness, hit him with a Bolemite. The live ammo will only hold him for a few seconds, but it will give you enough time to bag him. IGN also says just get close to Floyd and hit him with 2 Bolemites when he gets close and bounty him that way. In the event of the player deciding to take Filthy Hands Floyd dead, one will have to use an arsenal of fuzzles and only fuzzles. Each of the gnaws from the fuzzy creatures will slowly deplete his health bar and make him frantically panic. It is quite humorous to watch him run around in fear and agony. In the event of a player running out of fuzzles, there are some back in the house along the side of the canyon. Once you've bagged Floyd dead or alive, you'll then start heading back to town where you'll encounter the rest of his men, being the bumbling fools that they are. You then take out the rest of them and head back to Gizzard Gulch where you're handing him to the bounty store and get your reward, which is really small either way. If he's alive you get 200 moolah, if he's dead you only get half, 100 moolah. So you won't be buying any cans of Gabiar anytime soon. And that just about ends the Fable of Filthy Hands Floyd.
Hello, follow me. Yo.